Hey guys, welcome back. Another episode of Watty's channel. I'm Matthew, and once again, I did say that I'd make one more video today. So, just so happens I did get a new package in, which technically, let's be honest, through eBay, I probably get like 5 packages on a daily basis. So, but this right here, a little bit more special. This came from Ringside Collectibles. And there has a special meaning for a couple of these items I received in, and I didn't even know, I didn't know that unboxing was like a thing that people watch or really got into. So if that were the case, I mean, I'd probably be going through like maybe 20 videos a day, showing some of the things that I've gotten in. But it just goes to show how I built my collection so quickly. So I've already unboxed them, so to speak. Obviously, I keep them in packages, for collecting purposes. But there are a few items that kind of stood out to me. So the first one I want to look at is it's Wrestling Buddies from Kenny Omega. I have absolutely no idea who Kenny Omega is. So he's an AEW wrestler. Not really familiar with AEW. So I bought this for one and one reason only, because of the Wrestling Buddies that I believe I want to say it was Hasbro, but I don't think it was. No, it was Tonka, if I'm not mistaken. So Wrestling Buddies, Tonka made in the early '90s, and they sold for about $20 or whatever. And today those guys sell for ridiculous money. We're talking hundreds of dollars. I actually still own my original Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior, Tonka Wrestling Buddies. I think Ultimate Warrior might have like a little tear near his wrist or something, but that's been there for forget the years. We're talking possibly decades. My brothers and I mean, as little kids, we used to wrestle the heck out of those guys, and considering that they're still in the shape that they're in, it's just pretty incredible. So I saw this on Ringside Collectibles, and obviously nostalgia kicked in, and I'm like, you know what? I would love to have some more of these guys just for collecting sake. Now these guys here are just an absolute ton smaller than the actual Tonka Wrestling Buddies. Like this is this is like something you would take with you and wrap around your head on an airplane. It's like taking that type of pillow and matching it up against an actual pillow you use while you sleep in your bed. I mean, design wise, this is a great piece. I mean, I like it a lot. You know, Again, I think these are probably for kids 2 and under. I mean, I don't see how someone 5 years old, 6 years old, could possibly use this to wrestle with. But again, I have a couple wrestling buddies, and I saw these, and I'm like, yeah, why not? Something nice to throw on the shelves. So again, this one was Kenny Omega. They say he talks. He does not talk. So it just says shake me. No buttons to push or anything like that. Oh well. That was item number one. So I did get two of them. This one is a Cody Rhodes. So the only way I know Cody Rhodes is because, Dustin or Dusty Rhodes. But that is about it. I'm not familiar with this wrestler. I think I've seen him in Royal Rumble, and Dustin, Gold Dust, came in and they kind of went at it. Again, Cody Rhodes, not too familiar. Same box set. Looks like everything is pretty identical. But a really nice piece. I like it. Again, small, just like the other one. So I bought that. Dustin Rhodes, or Dusty, yeah, Dustin. No, Cody. Cody Rhodes. Too many roads. I also bought that because I saw this Cody Rhodes on their website. Now I've seen this one, several times. Never really interested me. So anytime I look on their website, I look up, LJN, or type in random words, Hasbro, for example, just to kind of see what's out there. If they do sell any of those figures, which they never do. They're mostly elites and modern day figures. But I finally did decide to pull the trigger on this one, and maybe I didn't really pay attention. Maybe I just bought it because I bought the plush pillow. But now that I've gotten in hand, I mean, you look at this. This is actually a great representation of the wrestling superstars, LJN figures from the 1980s. Even comes with the wrestling superstars bio card, and I believe there's a poster in here as well. Free Cody Rhodes poster inside. Just thinking, this is just going to sit on my shelf for the next 20, 30 years, and this thing is going to be, bring a lot of joy. Just, have something nice to look at, In about 20 years, this guy is probably going to sell for $200. And you're going to end up finding the loose figure for like $50, $60, $70, and it's going to be crazy. But Cody Rhodes, AEW, Wrestling Superstars, that's really awesome. I love that. So far, I think that's probably my favorite piece. So I did get one additional, I take it back, two additional pieces. So I apparently went, Dustin Rhodes crazy when I got onto ringside. So I've got another AEW action figure. So this one is a Series 2 Unrivaled collection. I mean, these AEW, I got a few of them. But I bought, a couple of them sit on my shelves. I'm not a huge AEW fan. I mean, like I said, I really haven't watched wrestling in 20 plus years. Occasionally, I think I popped in a few Royal Rumbles here and there, but as far as individual matches, it just hasn't appealed to me. But I gotta be honest, when I saw this figure, I thought this was Kane. This is actually a really beautiful figure. Great artwork. So that's really impressive. And again, I did get at least one more. Now this one is super cool. Trying to see who this is. Alright, so this one is both Cody and Dustin Rhodes. I don't think I've seen any Dusty Rhodes figures that quite, So Dustin, he was Goldust, and I don't know how he turned in from Goldust to this Undertaker-esque Kane lookalike character. But either way, that is an absolutely phenomenal box set. And just the graphics, I mean, I'm buying a lot of these Legends of Wrestling box sets recently. Bought a ton of them. And I buy them because, all the blood and gore on there, it kind of reminds me of it's kind of like horror meets wrestling. So I'm kind of like building like two separate collections by doing that. But I just thought that was super cool. So that's all the Cody Rhodes / Dustin Rhodes figures that came out of this box. But I also bought a couple additional tag team box sets. So even though I really don't have any interest in building these collections, generally the only reason I really bought these is because for whatever reason, these tag teams, even if they're lousy characters inside, and this is Bret Hart and Undertaker, come on, how could I possibly pass on that? But like I said, when it's tag team related and the box is in mint condition or close to it. This one isn't, but I mean, it suffices. They skyrocket in price. I mean, how often have we seen LJN or Hasbro tag teams? You get a figure like the Bushwhackers or even the Rockers tag team box set. Terrible shape, creases, bends, just horrible, and it sells for $130, $150, $200. And the Rockers the Rockers from Hasbro are just overall terrible in comparison to the rest. But again, this Championship Showdown, series number 8. Again, I'm not too worried about the series. I'm not gonna go out and try to acquire every single one of these now that I've got one. Although I do have pretty bad OCD, so it's like sometimes if I do have one, I do have to get the whole set. And we're not talking getting 20 pieces for one series. We might be talking maybe it looks like just 2 tag teams. Is it possible? Anything's possible. but right now it's not exactly a high priority for me. I just trying to get as many tag teams sets as I can. So I was in Iraq for about 2 months. Wasn't gone long at all. Left in December. Got back towards the end of January, and so I was continuing my collections. Got my LJNs in, got my Hasbros, what have you. And even though I've completed both collections, I'm still buying things over and over again. With the LJNs, I'm not necessarily building two collections like I did for the Hasbros, but I mean, like I said, I sell on eBay, and what I try to do is I try to put together certain teams, maybe complete Series 5 and sell that as one lot, or, put tag teams together, Anvil and Bret Hart, Anvil and Owen Hart, for example. Just something like that. Just find different ways to kind of appeal to buyers out there. So I'm getting my boxes in. My wife, she asked me one day, why don't I ever buy female wrestlers? And, I kind of thought about it for a moment. And, I'm like, what? Why don't I buy female wrestlers? Starting to watch those Royal Rumbles while I was deployed. Like I said before, the true essence of athletes. And as far as skill set's concerned, there's just no comparison between the female wrestlers and the male wrestlers. Female wrestlers, what they can do is just, absolutely incredible. So I've gone online and, bought an absolute ton of female wrestlers. I've won several on auction, loose figures, but I've also bought a ton of box figures as well. And I saw this one, and I think I wanted this one as much as I wanted the Bret Hart and Undertaker one. So this is Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Now, Charlotte Flair is quickly becoming one of my favorite wrestlers. And coming from the Flair family, why not? Makes sense to me. There's one female wrestler. I know I mispronounced her name. I don't think I've actually ever heard it said. If I have, I've forgotten. I think she's called Asuka. Again, I know that's how it's written, but not necessarily how it's pronounced, I'm sure. But, I really love her as well. Nikki Cross, I said, had some of the most, had some of the best energy. I really loved, watching her wrestle. Bailey as another. Again, I don't know too many female wrestlers. All that I know about them come from the Royal Rumbles that I've watched, the 2018 through 21 Royal Rumbles. Rhea Ripley, she was just an absolute beast in those Royal Rumbles. I absolutely love her. And I'm not sure, but I'm trying to think who won one of the last Royal Rumbles. It wasn't Naomi. No, she's a lot. I mean, the way that she, every time she's thrown over the ropes, she finds some way to keep her feet off the ground. And I think the first time I saw it was like, blew your mind how incredible that was. The second time, I'm like, wow, she did it again. The third time, I'm like, okay, now this is just becoming overkill. And I think one of, I don't know if it's Kofi Kingston or someone else from, I think they're called New Day, did the same thing. I'm like, guys, this is, okay. Now it's just become annoying. But Naomi, she's another one I really enjoy. So, was it Sasha Banks who won the 21 Royal Rumble? And I think it was time for her and Rhea Ripley. Based on size, there's no reason why Ripley shouldn't have won that competition. But again, skill set kicks in. NXT. But yeah. So I'm just looking at the top with the little stand and how the figures are supposed to be situated. I mean, that's pretty phenomenal. But again, I mean, I didn't expect this video to be super long or anything. I didn't know I didn't know that unboxing was like a popular thing or whatnot. Again, I don't think I'm gonna be doing this on a consistent basis. I mean, this was, one box came in just now from Ringside, and I figured, you know what, I like the pieces that came in. I thought they were super nice and interesting, so I figured I'd make a quick video about it. I did say I'd make one more video tonight, so I guess this would be it. I'm going to put these Wrestling Buddies, if not on my shelf, with some of the other collectibles I've gotten. I might keep them with the original Tonka Wrestling Buddies, but we'll see if I can make space for them. All right, guys. I'm going to end for now. Thank you for watching, and I will see y'all soon. Goodbye for now.